Cool. Make sure you subscribe if you like that demo. For this week, I wanted to give you a mixing update. For the past few weeks, I've been trying different plugins. I tried the Plugin Alliance bundles, did their trial. I did the UAD bundle. I'm still using their trial. And then I came across the TDR plugins. I was already using TDR Nova as a dynamic EQ. These two, this one, Arbiter and Infrasonic. And this one is like a Soothe alternative. And then this one, it's like a low filter, cleans up your low end, and then it adds some harmonics to kind of make up for that lost low end. They're both pretty good. I put them both on the master bus and I'll show you in a minute what they do. Let's get started with the setup that I have here. I have a bus that is for drums, bass, and guitars. And then outside of that bus, I have the leads. And then I have some effects and samples and synths and stuff. So when I expand this one, then I get the bulk of the instruments here. And let's just start with the drums. Just a blue track here. For drums, I'm using ML drums this week. Don't recall which preset I pulled up. I think it was this 90s metal wet. One of these. Here's what it is. And then I don't recall modifying this at all. So I left it pretty stock. I tend to do that because I just load it up, then I start writing drum parts, and then it just kind of forget about it. And then I usually put a clipper right after that. And this is what it does. I just solo the drums. Okay. Then let's look at the bass. I played the bass this week. And this is what the DI sounds like. I did use some compression on the way in. Okay. And then I duplicated that track. And then to create a low track and a high track. For the low track, did the cutoff at 205 and 30, clean up some low end. And then virtual mix track. And some saturation. Compression. This is not doing anything. And then from there, it goes to the Arbiter. It just kind of controls the boominess as the notes move across this area. It's off. Especially those right there. And then from there, it goes to a limiter. Okay. Then we have the high track. For the high track, that's a tuner. I did the cutoff at 450. Then this is a dark glass model in the Helix native. This is how I dialed it in. I did lower the bass since I had the bass on the other track. And added some distortion, some brightness. This is what that sounds like right now. Then I go into the Ampeg amp. I just play with the settings until I find something that I liked. And I think on this one, does it have a cab? I don't think this one does. Still doing the trial. I have 17 days left on this one. And then from there it goes to the mix rack, some VCC, the stressor compressor. And then some volume control. And then a limiter. And then that together with this track. Then they go to the bass bus, where I do some more compression together. Just keeps it all pretty level. I have Arbiter again. This one has a side chain like Nova, but it does it in a soothe kind of way. So I brought this filter all the way down just to capture everything below around 80. And then that's when the drums play and the bass. This really makes a big difference. And then when it does that ducking, it adds some harmonics up here to kind of make up for the loss of energy. And then from there, another limiter. My main goal with the bass is to not have it move. And that's why I have, let's see, I compress the bass on the way in. And I have basically 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 compressors and limiters, basically, to do that without to get it to sound consistent like that. So it's a pretty cheap bass with all strings, so I need to get some new strings on it, and hopefully I can get some of that brightness back. Then, from the bass, let's take a look at the rhythm guitars. So, for the guitars, I use Two Notes Genome, and I use a stock preset. It's called Tight Simple Gain. I think I adjusted the gain on this overdrive. I don't think I touched this. Maybe I messed around with the mics, don't recall. Doesn't look like it. I didn't touch this. Didn't touch this. Didn't touch that. Then from there, so let me just show you what it sounds without the bus processing. So this is just Genome. So then I go to Arbiter, and I use this as my main shaper. So what I did here, so I'm cutting some mids around 400, this whole area right here. Let me show you what that one does. So it gets rid of that honkiness in the middle. Then this one gets rid of the piercing high mids. I really like what this one does. Then I did this one to add some body. And that's it. Really like using this plugin. Then I did a volume adjustment. And then this one, it's being sidechained to the intro lead. This one is over here. So when the intro lead plays, the high mids get tucked in a little bit on the rhythm guitars, so that the lead kind of comes through a little better. That's just a tiny bit. So you can also do that with like a volume automation, which is what I usually do. But I'm starting to use these sidechaining things a lot more. Seems like a really fast way to work for me. Then, so that's the rhythm guitar. Let me show you another section. Okay. Then let's look at these. Let's look at these other clean guitars. I think these are the same. It's the same patch. Yeah. I just put it in a different track, but it's the same thing. But this one is doing. I really like the way that sounds. And then from there, let's look at the cleaning section. The clean section, it's a 4-guitar arrangement deal. And let's see what I did here. Put this one on the left side. So I just played, it's two parts played twice. Pan hard left, hard right, and then 55 left, 55 right. Together they sound like this. Okay, and for that one, I use the same preset, but I turn off the overdrive. That's about it. And then that one goes to the arbiter again, and I copy the settings from the rhythm guitars. It gets rid of the same problem areas since it's the same amp. And then VCC, some saturation. Okay. Then, so that's the clean section. Now let's look at the intro lead. For the intro lead, so for this one I used the flatback, which is like a rectifier. I think I kept the same preset and I just changed the amp for a different sound on the lead. I did move the mics around. Maybe adjusted the reverb, turned the EQ off. Kept that there. And then from there he goes to the VCC. Compressor to keep it level. And then I really like what this does with over here. And then I also add some saturation, 79%. What else can you do here? You can adjust the speed. It's just very simple. You got this different curves, and then you got the internal and external sidechain. I mean, you can do a lot of damage with this plugin. Then, fresh air. I've been really liking this plugin. I use it to, you know, whenever I need some mids or something to cut through, if I don't want to use EQ, just put this on and it removes a little blanket over it. It's kind of maybe making up for what I lost here. And then I just kind of add it here in a more pleasant way. Versus okay. And then the second lead, going for an effect. So for this one, same patch. I used the green mini. I used the delay before the amp, like a, what is that called? The green delay, the MXR one. Let me know in the comments. I forgot the name. And then the overdrive, same amp. Turn down the lows. Added some more mids in this one. I think I moved that. Added this ping pong. 47 watts. So I got delay before and after. 2 overdrives. There's no rules. I added this compressor afterwards because okay. And then from there he goes to the same deal here, VCC. Then Arbiter, doing the same thing. Okay, so it's not a problem in this one. It's not a problem in this one. I just copied, when I copied the track, I kept it there. But since it's not a problem, it didn't activate. And then the same fresh air. So this is what that sounds. Alright, over here, this section, I had a synth going, still with the UAD trial. Doing this kind of stuff on the background. And then this one's another instrument. I had to freeze it and then I edited it, so I don't want to mess with it, but it was just some congas and I had it pitched. This is what they sound like. I was listening to the song and just moving stuff around until it just sounded the way I liked it. Until it sounded the way I liked it. Until it sounded good to me. Okay. And then you add the reverb on that. The reverb is the verb from Slate. I think I used the default preset. And then let's look at I have a sub going here, sub drop. It was original in C, and then I had to come in here, pushed it to C sharp. Did that right? Yes, that's C sharp. Yeah, that sounds good. And then for the last section here, it's the same guitars here from the rhythm intro. But what I did is, I didn't play this very tight and didn't want to edit it. Got lazy with it. So I just put the automated the gate to come on. Let's see. Yeah, automated the gate to come on. And then just kind of make to help me get it tighter. Yeah, I mean, it's all messed up. Let me see. Well, I don't want to mess with it right now. But that's why I left it. And the gate helped me keep it a little tighter. And when you have the bass and the drums going, sounds okay.
Just made it worse.
Okay. And then let's see what else. Oh, for this section, I had the original bass, the real bass that I played first, but it just didn't. It wasn't as tight as I wanted it to be. So I just loaded, let's see, Nolly, put some sub on it and changed the tone a little bit for this section and just programmed it really tight to the grid. And then it syncs a lot better with the drums and makes everything sound tighter. Like if I would have left the real bass and these guitars probably would have sounded a little sloppy, or more sloppier, or would have sounded sloppier. But having this program bass just kind of kept everything solid. And then what I did is I just ran it through the same bus here. And I believe that's it. Oh, no, I have in the intro, I have this along with this lead. Did the lead in with this synth. It's called 1984. It has like that Van Halen sound. And I immediately went to it and started messing with it. It's like, I gotta put this in. So these synths are pretty cool. I'm still doing the trial on these. Like I said, I'm not gonna keep these. I really like the TDR ones. And then, so together, those two sound like this. Okay. In the master bus, I have TDR elliptical, and to be honest, I'm not really sure what this does. It's part of that bundle that I got, and I put it here, and I forgot I had it, and I never took it off. But from what I understand, it does some stereo imaging filtering on the low end, or it keeps it low end mono or something like that. So I'll get to know this one a little better in the next few weeks, and then I'll give you an update. And then this goes to my hardware compressor. It's a RNC 1773. It's a good, pretty inexpensive compressor, and it's very transparent. And I have it set up with like the 30 millisecond attack, fast release, doing about, well, it has this mode, it's called real nice compression, and you can push it a little more and it's still transparent without the artifacts and stuff. So it does have about, let's see, then it goes to the infrasonic. This one, it's a filter, cuts off some of the sub, and then adds some harmonics and to replace that lost energy. And this one's pretty cool. So to me, this one was more apparent when I was listening in the car and check with my headphones. I had to dial in this frequency until I felt like the kick wasn't boomy. It was a good spot where I kind of just cut off a little bit, and then when you add this bump, it just felt good to me. So yeah, I really like this one. And then Arbiter again. Just cleaning up some low mids where the guitars and the bass and the snare and all that stuff lives, and it's a lot of energy there. It just felt good running a little bit with this plugin. And this is the other plugin that I don't know what it does, so I'll give you an update on this one. I put it here. It does something on the high end, and that clip, I'm not sure what it does. So I had these on when I was messing around with it, and I just left them on there and never took them off. And I mixed into that and just left it there for now. But so in the next 2 weeks, I'll be learning more about this one, learning more about this one. But these two to me are keepers for sure. I really like these two. And then, yeah, so that's it. Let me show you some of the drum programming. I really like the ML drums. They, between that one and, actually I really like all the ones I got. They just, next week I'll switch to GGD and I like those. Well, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy the demo in this mix update. Again, my name is Obi-Juan, and I hope you guys have a good one. Thanks.